the game.
Beat the game. You pushed a cart, and now you're good.
Yeah, I beat the game.
This is a short game, so this is going to be a short video. How short? Well, I played through the entire game in 2.5 hours with my friend Thanasi over on Green Bananas Gaming 2. That's my new Let's Play channel, and it will have some crossover with this one, but they're not going to be identical. I'm going to be reviewing some games here that won't be over there, and I'm going to be playing some games over there that won't get reviewed here, so make sure you're subscribed to both so you don't miss out. Little Nightmares is a weird game. You play as a small child who's been abandoned by their parents after they hit it big in the lottery and ran off to blow it all in Vegas.
A whole galaxy of multicolored uppers, downers, screamers, laughers.
I made that up. There's no explanation and no story whatsoever in this game. You simply wake up as a small child on a dank boat and then you walk around for a bit. That's pretty much the whole game. There are some enemies, but you don't fight them. There are some cutscenes, but there's no dialogue other than these weird grunts. Here, I'll show you a few. The whole thing is very atmospheric, and the fun really comes from the environment and the weird things around you. You might think that sounds kinda boring, and boy, you'd be right. Sort of. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, so let's talk about it a little bit. You start the game in the bottom of the ship, so you're in the engine room, you're walking around with dirty pipes and ducts and stuff. It feels very forgotten, like you're not where you're supposed to be, but nobody really knows you're there, sort of thing. As you explore, you find some oddities. You find these weird guys. You find this weird gangly guy with a hat. You find a big fat chef man. And later you find even more. It starts off very simple, like I said, with the pipes, and slowly progresses. You kind of move up through the ship. You get into the kitchen, you get into the sleeping quarters for the crew. Eventually, you get into the guest area, and then up to the captain's quarters. So it starts off really dank, and then slowly becomes more extravagant as you move up. But despite that, the first hour and a half of this game really doesn't have much going for it, if I'm being completely honest. There's a few puzzles to solve, and a creepy enemy or two, but mostly you're just wandering around and wondering when your life choices are going to start making sense. But around that 1.5 hour mark, you stop proving your parents right, and this thing picks up harder than an F-150. It goes 0 to 60 faster than your mom at the beach when the cute lifeguard walks by. It really does kind of slowly build and then hits a tipping point and just explodes with action. There's more action than Steven Spielberg gets on a movie set. There's chasing, there's excitement, there's lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my!
Now, I have to be careful here because I don't want to say too much. I don't want to spoil it for you and ruin it. There's so little in this thing, I gotta save as much for you to discover on your own as I can. But let's just say there's lots of gluttony involved, and we all know that gluten makes everything better. This is not an exception. And that's about all I can say about this one. It's kind of a bipolar experience. The first half sucks, and then somewhere in the middle, it finds a defibrillator and jolts itself back to life. It's worth the wait, I think. Maybe. I'm still not completely sure, but there is a second one, and I've heard it's much better, so stick around for my review of that one. Oh hey, look, there's a third one too.